All right, Lisa, if you want to start this meeting called.
Order at 7:01 p.m. Which is absent. Ken Cleveland.
Here.
Sam Glenn.
Here.
Shannon Hughes Brown.
Here.
Ken Jackson.
Here.
Blaise Menninger.
Here.
John Coates.
Here.
Jessica Lamb. Oh, we're supposed to call for minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't do it yet. Okay. Yeah, do you mind starting up the.
Do you have her number to call directly?
Like just to call her cell phone?
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll just do it that way.
Yeah, but then also
She says she's on the call.
Chris Cycling needs
Oh.
to call in as
Oh,
well.
I need to get the other. You on the.
Let me see if I have the number.
Oh, did I run back to my desk?
Here we go. Oh, nope, that's not it.
No.
Lisa, you emailed out the telephone number?
Yes, but you're the administrator, so.
I'm waiting for the email to come through.
I can run back to my desk and get it.
She's probably got on her.
Maybe I have it on my phone here too.
1-848.
Hold on.
220 3300. Conference ID number.
Hold on, wait.
Sorry.
Welcome to the conference center. Please enter your conference ID and press the pound key.
630-8142.
Please record your name after the tone and press the pound key.
CMS Building Committee.
The conference will begin when the host arrives.
Oh, no. You are the host.
Hold on. I'll go get it.
That's the number to.
That's the number to call in if you're a participant.
Oh, you don't have the printout I gave you last week?
Okay.
Let me see if I get-
Last week.
Remember I gave you the directions on the printout, the following?
Let me look.
I think she gave it to me too. I definitely didn't bring it this week.
Let me see. I have all the paperwork you gave me last week. This is not part of the minutes, right?
I might have taken it.
Yeah, I don't see it in my paperwork.
Lisa, I think I took it home
Oh,
and didn't bring it this week. Sorry.
That's okay. It's fine. What's his name? We'll get it first. Just pause. Pause on. You want to just do the rest and then we'll get.
I did, there was nobody from administration, Chris Cycling will be the CSG rep that will be coming in.
Okay. No one from Board of Ed.
And, no town council. But since we are waiting, that December 4th, December meeting that we rescheduled, that's the Board of Ed meeting.
Oh,
So unless you want to.
on a Wednesday?
No, to Tuesday.
Oh, we moved it back.
We moved
Oh,
to
up.
Tuesday.
Okay.
If you want to be at the middle school, that could be an option for you if that is open, but no members of administration or Ms. Coachella will be able to.
Or do we do it on the 6th, the Thursday after?
I think we rescheduled because it was board
Town
finance
council.
meeting.
Yeah, town council.
Yeah, we rescheduled because it was town council and we couldn't go to Thursday because it was Board of Finance.
Right.
Oh,
But Tuesday's Board of
So I just want to put the little tickler in there. I know it's a special meeting, so.
Monday?
Yeah, so we can't do it at this meeting, right? Because we're special meeting agenda.
this is a regular meeting.
What?
This is a regular meeting.
We filed it as special.
We filed as a special meeting?
And it's not one that's already on that.
Oh. I thought we moved next week's meeting this week.
But it would still be considered special because it's not set on the date.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that we originally
Yeah,
did.
because we know how they have to have those
Boy, get
dates
it.
ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean,
Boy,
that
get it.
passed.
Boy, get it. It's all good.
Welcome to the conference center. Please enter your conference ID and press the pound key.
Hmm? I know.
Please record your name after. Welcome to the conference center. Please enter your conference ID. Please enter your host PIN.
Yay.
Sorry about that.
There are 2 parties in the conference. Please record your name and key.
CMS Building Committee.
Thank you. Hey, Jessica. All right. Hey, Chris, are you on the phone? Okay. All right. Okay. Agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Agenda's approved. Okay, minutes from the last meeting. Did everyone get a chance to review them?
Yes.
These were very thorough minutes, by the way, Lisa. Thank you. We talked a lot last week.
I want to make sure you got everything correct, so.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Okay, minutes approved. Moving right along. Public comments. Anyone here for public comments? Okay. Any submitted? Nope. All right. New business. I don't have much to update from last week. The only thing of interest is, so I did speak to Marianne, the finance director, about attending the meeting tonight. She was unable to because of prior commitments. So I do have a meeting scheduled with her 10 a.m. Friday morning. So I'm going to review whatever the final version of the 2 RFPs are from today with her. I did send her the latest drafts that you had emailed out, Ken. So I asked that, and I copied Carrie, the town attorney, on that email, and Tony, town manager, on the email. So I asked if we can get her to start looking at them prior to the meeting on Friday, just to kind of move things along a little bit faster. So there may be changes to the documents after today based on the feedback we get from the lawyer. So we may have to meet again just to like approve it, but I don't think it will necessarily stop what we do, because pretty much what finance wants will be their final decision. So just keep that in mind when we go through these documents.
If I may, Rosanna?
Yeah.
If the committee would be so inclined, I mean, substantially, I don't think there's going to be enormous changes. If there's only minor changes, approve it with any changes by the town, with a motion, any changes with Mary Ann or the lawyers, and then we
Okay.
wouldn't have to re-meet to redo it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I mean, if it's substantial or something, well, yeah, but
Right.
I mean,
If it's nothing that really requires discussion.
you could just
then-
reflect that in the motion.
Yeah. Okay.
Approved as is with any changes or subsequent to the meeting with Mary Ann.
We can do that. We can approve with unknown changes. We can do that. Approve with unknown changes.
I think we can trust your judgment that if something substantial came out of it, that'd be one thing.
Yeah.
If it's some minor
Right.
purchasing things they want put in or something like that.
Okay. I'm good with that. All right. So let's start with, that's all I had to report. So let's go right into the RFPs. So everyone should have a copy of them in their packets today. Let's start with the project manager one.
Ken had picked up on something that I had missed, under the general scope, bottom of the first paragraph. I had in there the design development, and it should be schematic design, and that was in both documents, so make note of it and I'll make those corrections.
So I have some like grammar nits. In the 4th line, where it says a new grade 6 to 8 middle school, it should just be a comma after new to separate that, because we're not talking about new grades. And then on this page,
I'm sorry, where's?
the fourth line down, so it says for school building projects for a new grade 6 to 8 middle school. I just added a comma after new.
So take the S out of grades. A new grade 6 to 8 or grade 6 to 8?
Grade 6 to 8 is fine, but I just added a comma after new because it's not new grades. It's new grade 6 to 8 middle school.
Yep.
To separate the two modifiers.
Project manager.
And then, I'm not mic'd, I'm sorry. And then, in the section labeled Carmel Middle School project, in the last line, Central just has an extra T in there. Let's just delete that.
Can you say that again slowly? Where is it?
Yeah, it's in the Carmel Middle School project paragraph. It's in the middle of the page.
Yeah, Central.
And then the, at the end of that second to last line, I guess.
Yep. And also the last line of the first paragraph, design development phase should be conceptual, is what we marked last week.
No. Design development needs to be schematic design.
Schematic design, okay. So add
It's,
schematic in?
it's based on the conceptual design.
Okay, so add schematic before design?
No.
No, no.
CMSBC to proceed with the schematic design phase.
Okay, based on the,
Yep.
Makes sense.
There's 3 phases during design. Schematic, design development, and then construction documents.
okay.
Those are all my page 1 edits.
One thing I have is, should we specify that the Board of Education is attached to this building and not, so, when they read this, they don't think it's a separate, off to the side building, and, it doesn't say anywhere that it's actually attached as
Oh, I
part
thought
of
it
that
did.
structure.
I think that's gonna come through with conceptual design, right? The conceptual design has it attached, and if they're gonna base their design work off the conceptual design, it's,
Okay, as long as they know that it's part of the building.
Yeah, it says on that first page, housed in the existing middle school and will be included in the new middle school.
Right, include, I just didn't want to make sure that they know
Oh,
it's
it's clear.
attached to the building as
Oh.
one structure.
I see.
on page 3, on line 29, I think that should be the OSCG court reimbursements, not OSF. Is that right?
Correct.
OSCGR. OSCGR.
In item 40, I had a question. The acronym, it says coordinate with the CVM, but I didn't see that referenced anywhere else in the document. I was wondering if that's supposed to be CM.
Where's that?
Item 40.
Coordinate with this, yeah, it should be CM.
Okay. And then
45 should be OSCGR again.
I had item 42. We just need to add an E into thereof. You have a comms person on the committee, I guess. And then 43 just needs a comma, or it needs a period instead of comma.
Oh, yeah.
Then I had a question on general conditions A. this might be for Ken and Ken. The town reserves the right to accept and reject any or all RFQs. Should that be RFQ/RFPs, or does it not matter?
Yeah, again?
General conditions.
Section 3A, general conditions. It's like on the bottom of the, I think the third page. It says the town reserves the right to accept or reject any or all RFQs. In like other places I saw, we had RFQ/RFP, so I didn't know if we,
I'll put the slash out.
I didn't know if we needed it or
No,
not.
it's fine.
For line 24, I had coordinate the bidding for the FF&E and technology packages prepared by the AE firm. So the line changed. I just want to make sure that line is correct now. Coordinate with the architect and the CM in preparation of the firm's technology bid package. Is that correct? That's correct.
In same general conditions, item B, I would suggest to change his/her to their, to just be inclusive of
Which paragraph is that?
general condition 3, or section 3, item B. So since we don't know their pronouns, AP Style recommends using the singular they, them in those situations.
How about its?
Yeah, if we're thinking about it as a firm, then that would make sense.
Under scope of work, section 2, item number 36, where it says perform inspections upon notice by the CM, that work is ready for final inspection and acceptance. Can we add something in there, wording that specifies punch list items? Does that make sense?
Yeah, how do we?
Coordinate punch, I thought of like coordinate punch list items at the end of the building phase.
Yeah, how do we factor that? That's a really good point. How do we make sure that is within the scope?
I thought that was,
I just don't think that's enough there.
So
I thi-
it's-
36.
Inspections are different than the punch list?
Oh,
Well, the punch list, like after the inspections, you find a list of stuff that has
well,
to get
isn't that
fixed.
35
oh,
though?
35's word, okay.
Oh, punch list right there.
Preparing a pl- Okay, we got it then.
Does
We're
that
good.
capture it?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, no, I was thinking inspection as in special inspections, but yeah, then, so the first is the punch list, that the architect develop, or the CM will develop,
Mhm.
give to the architect will elaborate on the punch list when they do their inspection. So I think we're covered.
So we're covered, okay.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Did we just hang up?
Oh.
You guys still on the phone?
Chris just walked in a couple of.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Jessica, are you still there?
Yes, we're here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
Did we update the verbiage in general conditions for the all-inclusive stuff?
The equal employment statement.
Yeah.
I took it from the Board of Ed website, used the board's terminology.
Could we add gender identity or expression to that list?
Add what?
Gender identity or expression, which is a protected class.
Yeah, I think we should take the language from the state website because it has many more classes identified in there.
Yeah, let me read it.
So I can copy that language.
All right, let's see what's in here. That's not in our thing. Considered age, race, ancestry, alienage, national origin, that's in there,
Mhm.
color,
Mm-hmm.
marital status,
Mm-hmm.
civil union status,
We don't have that, but Connecticut doesn't have civil unions.
familial status. What's familial status? I don't know what that is. Okay. Religion,
Yep.
religious creed,
We have religious creed.
criminal record,
We don't have that.
disability,
Yep. We have that.
genetic information, sex, gender, gender identity, or expression,
We don't have that.
sexual orientation,
Yep.
transgender status,
Yeah, it's kind of included under gender identity, but okay.
veteran status,
Okay.
harassment, including pregnancy and sexual harassment, previously opposed discrimination, retaliation, parentheses, and workplace hazards to reproductive systems. So, Jessica put it in Teams, the picture. If you, we can just copy paste it or rewrite it. Okay.
One other question I had, when we had talked about this, but I don't know if we made the determination if we were going to request one electronic version of the RFQ. I don't know if we ever made that decision,
We
but
asked for 1 electronic and 10 paper copies.
so on, I don't even know what page I'm on now. I
don't
lost
know what
count.
page is
Sorry.
it? Talk about submitting.
It's section 7. Submissions required, so we can just add in 1 electronic version or electronic copy. And then in that same section where we had references, I think, so these are the items, right, that they submit in the RFQ. In the references, we had include the name, title, and contact information of the owner's representative for each of the projects, but this is the owner rep's RFQ. So is there another person we potentially would want their information for to serve as a reference?
I think this is, hi everyone, sorry. I think this is referring to the actual owner and not the owner's representative. Or representative would be capitalized, right? It's the owner's representative, the district's representative.
Okay. Would that be clear to
Unless you want
folks?
to change owners to district.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's clear to people submitting their, their bids.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think district is a better term.
Okay.
So under references,
Yep.
the district's representative. I still can't find where it says submit 1 electronic. Where's section 7?
Material services, so it's on that same page. Did you see that
This
references?
is referring to the firm. that's all.
References, method of selection.
You're saying for references?
Yeah, the owners, okay. So you're saying school district representative?
Yeah, right, like, because the owner's representative, the person submitting this would be, it's just the language is just too similar, right? We want,
I see what you're saying, yeah. I think school district's representative is
yeah,
crystal clear.
yes.
Oh, right here, it's at the top of the page. So at the top of the page, PM submitting responses are to submit 10 copies of the RFQ and 1 electronic copy.
And we have to submit 1 electronic copy of all submissions. Item 6, qualifications required. Is that standard for most RFQs for projects within 7 years? Ken? Or Ken? Is that standard, you think, or is that pushing it?
I think that's a good number.
Okay.
You wouldn't want less.
Okay, I just was checking. I just wanted.
Okay, any other discussion on the,
Yep, I've got a couple.
yeah,
So we make reference to Tecton's conceptual design. So somewhere in here, we should have a list of what the exhibits are to include with this. If we're making reference to Tecton's conceptual design, the ad specification, we should include that as an exhibit.
are we allowed, are there any like proprietary rights, like, are we allowed to do that? Or because we paid for it, technically it's ours? Okay, so, other references then? Do we need to add a section of references for?
We should call it exhibits, not
like,
references.
I mean, I thought there was a reference section here. We would, under other data? Exhibits?
Well, where's it referenced? And I can just go see Exhibit 1.
Or is it just the very last page
Yeah.
as an addendum?
Yeah, like if you on the first page is where we mention it.
Right.
Would you just say like see exhibit 1 there?
I don't even think you have to say that to see it. You just, at the very end, you just have to make note of what's attached.
Oh, okay.
So what are we attaching? What are the exhibits?
Definitely the conceptual design.
Just that picture? That's all it is, right?
No,
What
I guess,
provided us is that 2D rendering.
no, maybe you include even the submission to the state? Or the educational specification?
What part of the drawing information, the Tecton information went to the state? Anything?
None of it. The only thing that went to the state were the ed specs. Neither one of those are really going to matter for this RFP. For the architects, I would suggest yes, they should see what's already been done. Those documents are going to be extremely helpful for them. For the owner's rep or project manager, it's not
Yeah,
going
they're
to
not
be.
gonna care. So
No, what does need to be included in here though is a timeline, projected timeline. There's nothing in here that says when you're anticipating opening, and then,
do we include the work from now until next July? I would assume so, right?
I think the RFQ timeline, right?
RFQ timeline
no,
or
the
project
timeline.
timeline? Yeah,
You
so-
include, this is from here until completion.
Until completion.
So this is here on out now.
Okay. Like milestones, right? Top level, level 1 type
Yeah,
of schedule. Just
construction start, construction completion, and owner occupancy, and then demo of the existing.
Yeah.
And then ultimate final completion.
Okay. Okay.
That would go for both. Actually, any of the RFPs that are issued should have that same timeline.
So, all right. So for the PM, all they need as an exhibit is the timeline. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna add a note here. I'll make the timeline up, and I'll send you a picture of the timeline.
Okay.
I believe there was reference to it in the Tecton presentation, so just double check in there. I believe we included the timeline in there. I don't have it in front of me.
Yes.
And I don't wanna-
It was like
I remember
2003
seeing
to
a timeline.
23
There
to
was one
26.
prepared.
Yeah, Yeah, I just don't want to misquote the dates in there, but yeah,
It's like
we had one in there.
23 to 26, I think it was something like that,
Yeah.
for the construction phase.
Yep.
Okay. So that's the only thing, they don't need to see a copy, there's nothing to really see for the grant proposal, right? There's no,
No, none of that'll matter.
do they
I
need
mean,
a copy of the ed spec
if you want to attach it, again, it's not going to matter.
for the PM?
The other piece to the
You wouldn't
timeline.
wanna see the ed spec?
No, for putting together a fee, as long as I know that one is done,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need it to respond to this.
Oh, okay.
But the last piece of the timeline would be duration for closeout. So post completion, 6 months, because they're going to ask that in terms of,
But
how
how would you
long.
know the scope of the project though? Because what if you're talking about like a 200,000 square foot building versus that basically you're assuming the timeline's going to tell you what the
It's
magnitude of the project's going to be?
it's in your, no, it's in your.
Oh, right.
The description's in the first
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in the
you're
general
right.
scope.
You're
So
right,
you
you're
have
right,
the
you're
size of the building, what it
right.
is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You have all that general information, but
Yep.
you just want the same timeline so that everybody is comparing the same.
Yep. Yep, yep, yep. I got it now.
Aren't the ed specs accessible on the board's website?
They're a public document.
Yeah, so I mean,
It's all public. It's just, yeah.
I'm saying a firm chasing this should probably go to the board's website.
Mm-hmm.
We have like 2 websites though. We have our Google website and then we have the website through the town. The one through the town just has like our meeting minutes.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think they have ed specs there. Unless you're attached to the meeting minutes.
Yeah, but they're on the Google site.
The Goo-
Has
yeah.
the ed specs and everything.
But there's no link to the Google site from the town site. Like, do we need to add a link to our Google site on these RFPs?
Okay.
Would that be helpful, you think?
Well, that would allow them access to all the documents. You wouldn't have to put any attachments.
Yeah, maybe we should do that.
Just put one line in,
Just
at
put
the end of
line.
the general scope, just
Yeah. For
see.
further information, see the website.
Makes sense.
And we'll put our Google site. Google. Okay. All right. Any other comments on the RFP?
On the like the request for proposal form, when you go down to the proposal fee, there's just a misspelling of central to capture. And then I would also suggest changing himself, herself to themself. Those are all my edits.
Where's that himself? Oh.
one now? Now we're still on.
Yeah. I found it. Yeah, I got it. There's
Proposal change. You got it, Ken? That applies to the AE one too.
Do you know where your son went? Do you know where your son went?
Yeah.
You lost something. All right.
I think you put that in the record.
Okay. That's cute. Any other comments on the RFP for the project manager? Okay,
Nope,
moving on
none
to
here.
the architect. All right, so while it's fresh in my mind, so the architect, what exhibits we need We need the conceptual design,
Well, I think if we're just gonna reference
the website?
the website,
Okay.
that'd be enough.
All right. Okay, it works for me. And then we need to include the timeline as well. Would it be easier just to put the timeline on the website? Or do you want, should the timeline be part of the RFP, Chris?
The timeline affects money, it should absolutely be in the RFP.
It should be in the RFP.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When we putting one up on the other.
Mm-hmm.
We could put it on the website too. Doesn't hurt, right?
Okay, any discussion on the architect RFP?
Yeah, where we list acoustician, environmental, FFE, and all that stuff. Can we add one for site drainage also? Just to make sure that we mention drainage in that as well.
As a,
For the design consult services required by this project.
So the list that's here, these are specialty consultants.
Wouldn't-
And site drainage would be under a civil engineer,
It
which is
isn't?
a basic,
Okay.
that's a basic consultant.
It is, so we're all set with that.
Yep.
I just want to make sure, okay.
So is the same, I'm assuming the same change that we did in the last one, the schematic design applies to this one too, right, Ken?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
did we include, adding the third-party cost estimator in here? I had a note from last week saying we need to include a third-party cost estimator.
Right.
Do you recall adding that, Ken?
Yeah, we have to include that.
Ken Jackson? Do you recall adding that, or?
That's under design consultant?
Yeah. Third-party cost estimator. Where would that fall under?
They would be a specialty consultant.
Okay.
Right, but then in the description below, you should spell out, it's more important to have it in the description below what you're requiring of them than it is just listed as a specialty.
Yeah, we need to say that they have to provide an estimate after each phase. So after schematic design, design development, and construction documents. And then that they're required to reconcile their estimate with the CM's estimator.
Ken's gonna email me the verbiage.
Okay, and where, I'm sorry, where are we gonna put that? Under what section?
And those bullets underneath the,
Could be the last one.
Okay.
After prepare specifications
And
for classroom.
what's the technical, name for them? It's a third-party estimator?
Third-party cost estimator.
Before paragraph 4, we need to add a subsection for architect scope of work.
oh, like the header.
Like a header, yeah.
Go with that again now.
Before paragraph 4, you want a header that says architect scope of work. Like a section heading. So the paragraph right after BOE Central Office Project.
Would you label it section 2 and then renumber?
Yeah, section 2.
I-
FFE is fire protection?
Finishes furniture and equipment is FF&E.
Oh, do we need a separate fire protection bullet?
They're under basic scope.
Oh, okay. How about the acoustic?
They're in there.
Yeah, acoustician is under specialty,
Oh, I
it's
see it.
there.
Okay, alphabetical. I can see that. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah.
I had under general conditions, section B, no A for may withdraw its proposal to delete the apostrophe there.
What paragraph is that in?
General conditions, section old 2, now 3, letter B.
Do the same thing for G. Whatever language I give.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So for this, we're including the timeline is the only thing,
No, this would be the presentation and the ed specs.
and the ed specs.
Yeah, the architect is definitely gonna need those.
Okay, so the presentation that has all the features and everything,
Yep.
the ed spec.
Yeah.
And the timeline.
I mean, to make it consistent, you can attach them to you could attach all of it to both of them. There's no reason not to.
Okay. And then we're gonna fix central office again on the last sheet. And themselves.
And then also the electronic copy, the same, same from
Yeah, add like
as
a-
the last one.
So we're not sure yet if they're gonna go to you, Lisa, so that may be something that gets changed on Friday.
Well, Marianne will clarify that for
Yeah,
us.
yep.
Okay.
Or any other discussion on these? Any other comments, corrections, additions?
One other thing. The last paragraph of the scope of work says that they need to attend the bi-weekly building committee meetings, but there's also required to attend any scheduled construction job meetings. Oh, never mind, it's in there. Just wanted to make sure it was in there as well.
Okay. Jessica, do you have any other comments?
Nope, I don't have anything else to add.
Okay. Is there a?
Yeah, I have one
Yes.
thing, one real quick thing here.
Yeah.
Under the scope where it lists with all the bullet points,
Mhm.
about 3/4 of the way down, design, technology, infrastructure, and compliance with Cromwell Public Schools. should we add technology and communications infrastructure, or is that all included, part of that? I'm just thinking for security purposes.
That would all be part of it.
It is all part of it? Okay.
Okay, is there a motion to approve? Do we need to approve them separately? We have to approve them separately? All right, let's start with the project manager one. Is there a motion to approve the project manager RFQ/RFP with the changes discussed today, with understanding that there will be could be potential changes that result from the review with our town attorney and finance director? Gotcha.
So moved.
Is there one second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. Okay, the project manager one's approved. Is there a motion to approve the RFQ/RFP for the architectural and engineering services with the changes discussed and approved today, with the understanding that there may be potential changes or inclusive potential changes that may occur through the town's lawyer and finance director input?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed,
Aye.
say nay. Okay, that's approved. All right, last thing in old business is the charge.
Rosanna?
Yes.
I'll make these changes tomorrow morning, and I'll email them out, and I'll also copy Mary Ann on them.
Okay,
And I'll put in the cover that this was approved at the building committee upon town's review.
okay, I'll throw together a timeline tonight. Yeah, tonight, and I'll send it to you, a picture of it.
Okay.
Just double check the Tecton presentation
Yeah.
to make sure that it's consistent. That's all.
Yeah.
And then for so that we said the timeline, the presentation, and the ed specs, we have all of that on the website, but let me know if anyone needs like help getting those documents as the attachments.
Okay, the charge. So we had discussion last week, and I incorporated the comments. So this should be the latest copy with the comments. What I basically did was broke it down to the owner's rep, the architect, and then everything else. So instead of highlighting each different thing, I just wrote creation of the bid package for the commissioning agent, materials testing, and any other third-party special services or consulting groups as required, and in the determination of a list of eligible bidders to invite to bid. And then the only other thing that I really did change was I removed the requirement to have the town council approve. They don't need to approve the contracts. That section I don't know what Mary Ann's gonna come back with on that, but that's the only other thing I took out of that. And then I said should the vendor not be the lowest bid, the building committee will provide adequate substantiation to support the chosen bid. So, we're gonna review this as well on Friday. I sent a copy to most of the town council. I have not heard a peep from them on it though, so I'm not sure if they're just reserving their opinions for their meeting next week. But once we approve this, I can give them a clean copy of our final. Well, if there's no other changes, they already have this version of it.
I just in number 2, I think we should just include, I think we talked about this and it might have just been missed, that the request for proposal process that adheres to all state of Connecticut, we should add that. And town bid policies and procedures where the state statute takes precedence.
Oh, yeah, you know, I thought I added that. I must have just taken the last sentence and not the full sentence. Yeah, I'll add that.
Is that within section 4? Because it's in there unless you're.
Section
In
2.
3, but section 2 it's missing.
Under the charge?
Yeah, number 2.
Oh.
The part about the state statutes is missing out of section 2. That's a good catch.
Do we have to approve this too?
Hmm?
Do we have to make a motion to approve this?
Yeah, is there any other discussion on it?
Yeah, I have a comment. After charge, we talk about selecting the architect on number 5. But previous to that, there's nowhere where it states that we select the owner's rep project manager. It just says coordinate and work with. Is there anywhere that we need to specify that we have to select?
It says it in
That-
section 2.
It does
So-
it? Okay.
Yeah, so it starts with the assist part, and then it says,
see
once
that.
the grant application is submitted, the building committee will
Okay,
select
all
an
right, okay.
OPRM.
Okay, I missed that again.
No, it's a good question.
Thank you.
We need to make sure we have it all in there.
Number 11, in the charge, it says here that we are to verify all required permits. Can we add, work with the owner's rep to verify all the required permits instead of just it being completely on the building committee? Work with the owner's rep to verify permits.
Makes sense.
You see what I'm saying?
So in conjunction with the ORPM,
Yeah.
verify.
We'll throw in an architect in there too.
Add the architect too.
Yeah, well, they're primarily the responsible agent to making sure that all the plans
It-
are okay.
It's really gonna. It's gonna fall on the whole team. It's not
Yeah.
gonna. It's not gonna fall on the building committee to verify. It's gonna be. You're not gonna be able to get COs and inspections and things without permits in place, right? So it's not.
I like the addition of the language though.
That's fine.
Same.
Spread the wealth.
If we
There-
pick an
there you go.
architect who doesn't realize they need to pull permits, then we're in trouble.
Right. You've picked the wrong architect.
But that's, okay, any other discussion? Okay, is there a motion to approve the charge with the changes we just discussed?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Okay, charge is approved. I will make the edits and send this back out to the town council for review. I am planning to bring this up. I asked that they add this to their agenda next Wednesday for review and approval. So, I need to make sure, double check their agenda before the meeting. You're gonna have to remind me, because I forget these things.
On vacation.
No, I'll remind you. I don't have much brain capacity these days. And we have our more agenda. What am I doing? Communications subcommittee report.
There's no report from since our last meeting.
Okay. Any more public comments? No. Any other comments, updates, or announcements from anyone on the board? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Anyone second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. Have a great evening, everyone.